No, thank you very much. Greetings to SG and NC, officials of SASCO, members of the media. I think one thing that we have also acknowledged as an organization is that we had our own internal matters as an organization, and of course, we have decided that we need to capacitate ourselves in terms of how can we strengthen our organization so that in future we don't have what we had experienced as an organization, and also welcome organization in the mass democratic movement, the ANC, SACP, COSAT, and other components in terms of ensuring that in future not only SASCO does not face those challenges, but also all our organizations, particularly youth organizations, because if organization have got problems, it means even our future can be also be challenging. So we do have accepted that, and I think we're in the correct path in ensuring that we address those challenges within our organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think with that, we'll then ask the SG to have the last word.
We are going to deploy people for election purposes. It is not correct that elections, Mtolo is the only one. When he was in KZN as the provincial secretary, he was accounting to me. He was heading elections in KwaZulu-Natal. So they've kept that tradition going forward. Not that it cannot be tampered with. All our secretaries are going to focus on elections, including myself. We've got no other business either than to focus on elections and ensuring that government is held accountable and there is delivery. That's what is important. And if you look at how we have been working since Congress, we have been more vocal on delivery issues rather than inward looking. Because people believe that the secretary at Luthuli House, his business is to talk about branches and not look at government. And it's the first time now that we have looked at government in terms of how far we've gone. We've got a full account of what government has done, what is remaining, and now we are going to the public to account. That program is driven by the ANC. It has never happened. Part of that process includes ministers being held accountable in the different clusters. We are going to engage with them, and then at the same time reporting to the NEC to say, in this cluster, in terms of crime and this and that, we are not just happy, but we believe that we've got to move in terms of the following. For instance, when we talk about changes, DSO, in terms of crime fighting and all of that, Scorpions, it might not be the same name, but how far have we gone with regard to that? Because we said we need to check up these things. So these are the things that we're looking at from the point of Luthuli House. Luthuli House is the center. It doesn't run government. We don't micromanage government. We monitor government. Constitution of the ANC says that the ANC will hold its employees accountable and then monitor them, that they are doing the right thing. Because we can sit here and ignore everything and not do anything about it. And then we think that we are on track, and whereas the case is not, whereas it is not the case. So what I'm saying is that Mabuya Kulu can be the head of elections or be part of the elections. It doesn't depend on the fact that the secretary of the province had the elections and therefore must be replaced and so on. No, there's no such tradition. So anyone can be there, and Mtolo is there. He's heading the elections team. Mabuya Kulu will be brought in to reinforce and work with the election. We don't want confusion, where we start to bring up issues and people think we want to bring people in a back door. When we don't, how will we win an election if you don't have trust in your leadership? I can't go in Northwest and jump Nono and start working with, I don't know, with Matleng in Northwest and ignore elected leadership. How do you think you can win leadership? What is important for us is to unite comrades, unite ANC people. That's what is important, without undermining those who are elected, and then cast aspersions on them, and then give them names and all of that. Those who have lost, they must understand, they must subject themselves to the discipline of the party. Their turn will come if the membership is still having appetite for their leadership. They will come back. And if they work with discipline within the structures, they will come back. And the most important thing now, as the ANC, which we understand, is that let's leave the side and focus on the real issues. Comrade Mabuya Kulu would have been something in government if he did not have a case. And we need to thank him that he did not have to be told. He then decided, painful as it was, to go step aside. Unfortunately, when he comes back, hey, there are many things that have passed now. Conferences have passed. Maybe he could have been an NEC member. I can't imagine what that comrade have gone through. But I emulate his example, that indeed is a disciplined comrade. He did not go to court with vavavoms and all of that. He just went there, stood there, fought his thing, and then left with his jacket intact. He has lost everything, but his integrity is intact because he did not make he's a cadre of the ANC. He's very resourceful. He's well experienced. Where he is underutilized. We're going to bring Mabuya Kulu back in terms of the ANC to work with these younger comrades who are elected democratically. Not with a view that you want to topple them. Work with them in the organization and assist the ANC. And I think that's what we'll do. Not only Mabuya Kulu, we will bring a lot of comrades there in KZN and even outside, even ourselves. We will work with the comrades in KZN to ensure that we support the leadership in KZN in the difficult task of the elections, like everywhere else in the country. These elections are not going to be easy in any way. Thank you.
Thank you, SG. With that, colleagues, I'm certain that all the questions have been sufficiently and comprehensively covered, that this then brings us to the end of this press briefing. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the leaders of SASCO, and thank you very much, SG. And thank you, members of the media.